Welcome back, everyone. Now that we have entertained the idea of main method and custom methods, let's start experimenting with our class structure. So right-click on your section name, create a new class, and we're going to call it experimenting methods. Enter. So this created a class for us. And let's open up some space. And we're not going to write the main method at this time, right? And let's clean the console. Right-click, clear. It will clean our console so as we're not distracted. So let's create a method, public static void. Remember this signature the way is. And we're going to dive into it later. So our method is going to be print empty line, open parentheses, close parentheses, and open curly braces, close curly braces to open up a code block for us. What we're gonna do, as the name dictates, we're just gonna print empty line. Let's go further. So get out of the method, stay within the class, and let's create another method called public static void print 3 lines. Open up. Let's print 3 lines. System out print line. System out print line. System out print line. So we printed out 3 lines. And now let's do this. Let's add a main method here. Public static void main string array arguments. And now we're gonna system out print line first line in main. We're gonna create another system out print line. So we're using a lot of system out print line statements here just for the demo purposes. Okay, so these can be replaced by variables, by other methods, etc. It's up to you. Sky's the limit to your imagination. We'll get there. However, just for the demo purposes, we're printing out print lines just to show you how this how the JVM is going to act. Okay, how the compiler is going to act. So this is our structure. So probably since we've always had main method on top, we always said that the execution in Java goes from top to bottom and left to right. You'll assume that when I run this program, it will print out an empty line, it will print out 3 empty lines, and it will print out first line, last line, right? Let's try it. For those who said no, the answer is yes, you were right. It will not, this code will not print out any of these. This code will just go into main method. Again, every time you run a class in Java, it starts executing its main method. If there is no main method, let's delete this. If I run this, there is going to be an error. Main method not found in class section 2_3 dot experimenting methods. Please define the main method as public static void main string args, or a JavaFX application class must extend blah, 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 right? So the error message also gives us the signature of the main method that is supposed to be, because what happens is the compiler looks for this signature to start a class. That's why we always say public static void, public static void main string arguments, etc., etc. Okay, so, and I rerun this to clear off the error message, and I get first line, last line. So what happened to these lines here? Nothing, because we never called these methods, correct? So before we start calling these methods, just to show you, this here was meant to show you that there is no, it doesn't matter where main method is. It can be on top as a first method, it can be in the middle somewhere, or it can be in the bottom. Usually, it's a most common practice to keep main method either on top or in the bottom. Okay, so I usually prefer putting it on top, because when you read the main method, you understand the flow, and if you want to see what specific method does within the main method, you can go and find that method out. But reading the main method will give you the flow. So if I call my print empty line method here, what will be the output? Obviously, my compiler will come to line 16, not line 5, 6. It will come to line 16, run this statement, execute this statement. It will come to line 17, and when it executes the statement, it will go to line 5, and then proceed to line 6, execute line 6. After this method is finished, the execution is finished, it will finish this statement. It will assume it finished the statement. It will move on to line 18, and last line in main will be printed out. And what if instead of print empty line, I'm calling print 3 lines? Run. It's gonna print 3 lines for me. And where are these 3 lines coming from? From the print 3 lines method that has lines 10, 11, 12, which say just print empty lines. What if I say, what if I do this? I call print 3 lines method within my print empty line method. So let me take this out now. And instead of saying print 3 lines, I'm gonna do print empty line. So how many lines do you think this kind of execution will produce? Run it. The answer is going to be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you ask why, what happens is when I start this main method, obviously it comes to line 17, executes it, run, and shows it to us, displays it to us. Comes to line 18. When it executes line 18, it goes to line 5, print empty line method, right? Within print empty line method, it goes to line 6, executes the statement, prints the first empty line. I'll highlight it like that, right? Then when it moves to line 7, it sees another call to another method, right? So now it comes to print 3 lines and prints these 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, right? Then it comes out. Now it is finished with all the statements in print empty line. It goes back. Now it completes the program by executing statement at line 19, and that's it. So you can call method within methods. Vice versa, you can ignore to call anything. You can do whatever you want to. You can even have main method not declared, but in that case, you will not be able to run this class, okay? So methods, calling them is up to you. You can try it out, and let me just show you how to call a method from a different class of ours. So you remember how we created my first method in a class called main method? Let's just go ahead and call this method from print 3 lines. So we're gonna call it by, remember how we did math.next? So the same principle, class name is main method, but method name is my first method. So this is something new. I'm calling a method from a different class of mine. When I run it, this line will print out hello first method, okay? Instead of putting it here, if I take it out and put it as the first, or let's do this, put it as the second line within my print empty line method, run it, it will print it out right here. And then 3 empty lines. So it will print out empty line, hello first method, and 3 empty lines, and it will come out and print out my last line in main. Okay, so this is a demonstration of how methods can be customized, called upon, and you can be as creative as you want to. This knowledge is going to be important. Next recording, we're going to devote to an idea called stack memory in Java, because all these operations where Java runs this method, then jumps into this method, while within this method, it runs this statement and jumps into this method, then jumps into this method. We're going to demonstrate it to you in a PowerPoint presentation, but the next video will be addition to that PowerPoint presentation. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you.